It was great. I think it just adds that little bit of extra energy of practice. Certainly the offensive and defensive line gets a little bit more charged up. But at the end of the day, you still got to execute plays, still got to use the technique we're being taught, and I think it's actually a good training tool to try and maintain focus on what's important with all the extra energy that's getting thrown at you from both sides of the ball, right? So I think it's a good thing to get pads back on. You really don't get to use that kind of work. You don't really get to have that kind of work unsolicited, except for this time this year. So you got to use these padded practices to the best of your advantage, because it's the hardest work and the best practice reps you're going to get until you get into a game. So it's a great step forward for us, and we're excited to keep going.
Some people say some players say it's kind of when real football starts. Would you agree with that? And then also, can you pinpoint maybe some good hits that were out there?
I guess it certainly makes our job a little easier. It's a little less painful than playing. It's funny, they take the pads off for less pace, but you wind up being more sore than when you have pads on. I can't really speak to any great hits today. We only really had like 8 team reps or something like that, so still a little limited in terms of that. But I thought we executed well. We took a great step forward today, and we're going to continue the next 5 weeks to get better and use these padded practices, like I said, to the best of our advantage, because it's the only time you get to really feel real bullets without real consequence. So it's a great time to try a lot of new techniques and hone in on your skills, and that's what we're going to try and do.
Where do you expect your game to go this year in your second year in this scheme and with Zach Street?
Well, certainly to start fast this year and not have the hiccups that we had early in the season last year. I think everybody feels more comfortable, especially up front, myself included, and just the overall consistency of the game. I think it just has to be, play in, play out, block your guy, right? Like it's just do your job over and over and over again as best as you can do it, and that's all I've ever tried to do. But certainly, with 1 year of familiarity of an offensive line coach, a play caller, certainly have a better feel for what's going on, so just take a step forward in the overall consistency and be the best I can be.
Quinn got the big extension this offseason. Now that the right side of the line is locked up for many years to come through him, how key is that to have that continuity?
I think it's huge for us, and the two of us said that right away. As soon as I heard the news, I FaceTimed him, and he was out to dinner with his wife, and I was trying to get off quickly so I didn't interrupt his celebration, right? But we were so excited, man. I mean, he's such a great player, and the cool part is he's so great already, and he's just scratching the surface of what he's going to be. And the two of us being able to be here, for the next at least 4 years together is really, really cool, and it's an opportunity to grow together, to understand the scheme together, to understand how each other plays and how we can make each other better. And we already started to do that last year. And Quinn's as good of a partner as you could ask for from an offensive tackle standpoint, both obviously as a dominant player, but his work ethic, him as a teammate, the way he carries himself. Quinn's an impressive dude all around, and Denver Broncos and Mike McGlinchey are very lucky to have him for the next 4 years.
You've worked with a number of young quarterbacks in your career. The first 6 months or so working with Bo, which has kind of been your overarching impressions? I
think certainly his maturity is something that everybody is speaking to. He's learned fast on the job, and he's a very competitive dude, and he takes a lot of pride in not screwing things up, or if he does once, he's not going to do it again. He takes the little small details, such as like the cadence. It's tough when he's always coming out asking the rest of us, hey, how can I do that better? How can I do this better? Bo's been an impressive person in our locker room, both as a player. I think he's picking things up incredibly fast and doing a great job. But as a competitor and as a teammate, he's done a great job too. So I think Bo's on the right track. I think he's gonna take the coaching that he's going to get. He's got some of the best in the world helping him out, and I think he's going to do great things for us.
Mike, how do you think Audric Estime will perform at the NFL level, and how much harder do you block for a fellow donut?
I think he's going to do great, just like all Notre Dame alums do at this level, right? He certainly knows how to tote the rock a little bit. It's something we specialized in South Bend, Indiana. But Audric, the same way as Bo. He came in, he's so mature, and I was so excited as soon as he was picked. I got so many texts from people back at school being like, "You're going to love this kid," and I've obviously watched him every Saturday for the last 6 or 4 years, however long he was at school, and he's a really, really talented player. He's got great vision. He's got the biggest arms I think I've ever seen on a running back. And he runs hard, and he did that for Notre Dame. And I don't think I'd get any more credit by George or Sean if I said I block harder for a Notre Dame running back. But it certainly feels good to have more in the building because we think we're the best in the world. So thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mike.